Hi, my name is Moses Rubin, and you are listening to the Garnet Sports Network as the Swarthmore College Garnet take on the Franklin and Marshall Diplomats here on a beautiful day at Clothier Field at Swarthmore College. The Garnet have lined up along the first baseline. The Diplomats beside their dugout as they rise to honor America and listen to our national anthem.
Leading off and playing shortstop, number 23, J.J. Freeman. Batting second and playing right field, number 44, Alex Miller. Hitting third and playing left field, number 1, Kelsey Lowney. In the cleanup spot and on the mound, number 19, Don DiLoretto. Batting fifth and catching, number 18, Kyle Ebert. Hitting sixth and playing third base, number 10, Will Samuel. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 13, Daniel Blugis. Hitting eighth and playing center field, number 5, Kevin Lammers. Batting ninth and playing second base, number 2, Justin Cavan. F&M is coached by Ryan Horning, who's assisted by Ryan Luke, Matt Shoying, and Gordon Eck. Fans, at this time, we will be presenting our national anthem. Now let's meet the starters for the Garnet.
So the Garnet take the field
Field is senior, number 3, Charlie Levitt.
with Jack Corkery on the mound,
Number 5, Jared
right-handed
in right,
junior,
number 17, Holden Bridge. At third base, the senior, number 2, Connor
out of
Elliott.
Tagay, South Carolina,
Shortstop,
and they go
number
to
7,
work
Luke Mutz.
against
At
a
second,
potent
sophomore, number 45,
Diplomats lineup.
Seppi.
Leading off will be the shortstop, J.J. Freeman, batting second, the right fielder, Alex Miller.
Catching for the Garnet is a sophomore.
Batting third in left field, Kelsey Lowney. Cleaning up and pitching, Don DiLoretto. Batting fifth and behind the plate, Kyle Ebert. Hitting sixth and at third base, Will Samuel. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Daniel Blugis. Batting eighth and in center field, Kevin Lammers. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Justin Cavane. The defense behind Jack Corkery today, from left to right in left field, is the senior, Charlie Levitt. In center field, the junior, Jared Gillen. And in right field, the junior, Holden Bridge. At third base, for the Garnet, the senior, Connor Elliott. At shortstop, freshman Luke Mutz. At second base, the sophomore, Michael Sepe. And at first base, the junior, Cole Beaker. Doing the catching for Corkery is the sophomore, Sam Jacobson. Corkery has been one of the Garnet's most effective baseball players thus far. Looking to help the Garnet improve to 5-3 on the conference thus far. And Freeman steps up to the plate. And we are ready for baseball. Corkery's pitch is in there for a strike, and we are underway. as the 0-1 catches the corner for a strike. Corkery on the year has pitched to a 1.29 ERA. He is second on the Garnet in innings pitched. As that ball skied to center field. Back goes Gillen towards the track. He's under it and will make the catch.
Now batting number 44, Alex Miller.
And there are one away. Alex Miller to the plate, second baseman, right-handed hitter. And he takes a strike from Corkery. And the count is 0-1. The breaking ball misses just off the inside corner. Count 1-1. Kind of a miss. Count 1-2. And the 2-2 on its way. Just missed. Count runs full at 3-2.
Yeah, like it's nice outside.
That's fouled back. Count holds full at 3-2. Lowney, in 28 games, a 402 hitter, skies this one to right. Bridge is under it. He'll make the catch. And there are two away. Now I'll bring up the left fielder, Kelsey Lowney. Lowney, a 402 hitter, 45 hits and 112 at-bats across 28 games, 2 home runs, 28 RBIs. This Corkery deals a strike on the outside corner. Count 0-1. And that pitch is laced down the left field line, but foul. Count runs 0-2 on Lowney.
2 out.
Lowney, a left-handed hitter, sees the 0-2 and fouls it. Third base side, over the Swarthmore dugout and out of play. This fouls it off. And the count 0-2. And the breaking ball just misses high. And the count runs 1-2. And the 1-2 from Corkery is grounded to second. Seppi Fields fires to first in time, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. At the end of a half an inning, it's the Diplomat 0 and the Swarthmore Garnet coming to bat here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the bottom of the first, as the Garnet will be taking their hacks against Don DiLoretto, a sophomore who's allowed 5 runs in 19 innings for an ERA of 2.29. The Garnet lineup is led off by Jared Gillen, who plays center field. Batting second is the left fielder Charlie Levitt. Batting third and at first base, Cole Beaker. Cleaning up is the designated hitter Jackson Roberts. Batting fifth and at second base, Michael Sepe. Hitting sixth and at third base, Connor Elliott. Batting seventh, right fielder Holden Bridge. Batting eighth, the shortstop Luke Mutz. And batting ninth, the catcher Sam Jacobson. Gillen takes a fastball outside and is ahead on the count 1-0. Gillen, a .352 hitter. That's 38 hits and 108 at-bats. And he skies that one to center field. And there is Lammers to make the catch, and there is one away.
Now batting number 3, Charlie Levitt.
That brings up the left fielder, Charlie Levitt. Levitt off to a hot start. A .432 hitter with 41 hits in 95 at-bats. A .538 on-base percentage. As he takes a curveball on the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-0. 0-1 is fouled off third base side, out of play. Count 0-2. And the 0-2 on its way from DiLoretto. Is fisted third base side, foul, and out of play. And the count holds 0-2. Levitt trying to get something started for the number 9 ranked Garnet here in the first inning against former playoff rival Franklin and Marshall. That ball's fouled back. The count holds 0-2. That pitch misses inside. Diplomats 2-4 to start this conference season after making the playoffs, as Levitt grounds it to first fair, and he's going to make it. Oh, or not. As Blugas recovers and is able to flip to the pitcher in time for the out. So that brings up Cole Beaker. Junior from North Carolina. That one's skied to right field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit.
Now batting number 33, Jackson Roberts.
So with 2 down, Cole Beaker is aboard, and that brings up the designated hitter, senior Jackson Roberts. Roberts, a .385 hitter on the year. That's 35 hits and 91 at-bats. He has 3 home runs and 29 RBIs to go along with a .496 on-base percentage. Trying to make something happen here for the Garnet. And DiLoretto's first pitch is low and inside. And the count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0 on its way from DiLarito. Cut on a miss. Count 1-1. One on its way. Misses low. Count 2-1 on Roberts. Beaker off first. He's stolen 5 bases in 5 tries, so he will run. The 2-1 on its way. Skied foul. First base side out of play, and the count runs even at 2-2.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The 2-2 on its way to Roberts is fouled off. Count will hold. DiLarito looks in for the sign. Beaker leads off first. 2-2 count on Jackson Roberts. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. DiLarito comes set. And the 2-2 runner goes. Fouled off. Beaker leads off first. 2-2 on its way to Roberts. And they caught Beaker leaning. Cole Beaker's picked off first base, and that will do it. So no runs, a hit, no errors because of the pick off at first. No one left on base. We're scoreless headed to the second here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the top of the second. It will be DiLoretto, Everett, and Samuel. For the Diplomats as they go back to work against Jack Corkery, who worked a 1-2-3 first and will look to do the same here. DiLoretto steps into the box. Right-handed hitter, open stance. And he takes a strike. The count is 0-1. DiLoretto worked an effective first inning, allowing only 1 hit. And checks the swing there. Cannot hold up. The count is 1-2. At the plate this year, DiLoretto a .352 hitter. That's 25 hits in 71 at-bats. And the pitch from Corkery is high. Count 1-2. And the curveball falls in for strike 3. That's the first strikeout of the game, and there's 1 down here in the top of the second. So with 1 down, Kyle Ebert steps to the plate. Ebert, a junior, 269 hitter. That's 18 hits in 37 at-bats. He does have a home run to go along with 13 RBIs. And Corcoran comes set. The pitch is down, and the count is 1-0. And the 1-0 misses inside, and Ebert finds himself ahead on the count, 2-0. The 2-0's fouled off. Ebert swinging ahead in the count. And the count now 2-1. The 2-1 misses down. Count 3-1. So Corkery now behind on the count, trying to work his way back against the Diplomats catcher, Kyle Ebert. One down here in the top of the second. The 3-1 is Sky to center field. Gillen over, makes the call, and the catch. And there are 2 away. So it'll bring up Will Samuel, third baseman. He takes a strike. Corcoran comes set. It'll be an 0-1. That was lined into right field. That is a base hit. Bridge fields and gets it in. So the Diplomats have a man aboard with 2 down. And that will bring up first baseman Daniel Blugas. Blugas, a senior, plays a little bit of first base, a little bit of catcher. He's a 226 hitter on the year. 14 hits in 62 at-bats. And the pitch is fouled off. Count 0-1.
The other guy got on base. Oh, what did he do? I'm sorry. He line single to right.
One on its way from Corkery. Misses high. Ebert has stolen a base thus far this year, but being a catcher, not exactly a threat to run. And Corkery's 1-1 misses inside, count 2-1. That pitch is popped up, foul. Back above the press booth here. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a throw over. Ebert back safely. And that ball is laced into left field. Back goes Levitt towards the track, at the wall. He's looking. And it's a foul ball. So Samuel gave that one a ride.
That would have been his first home run let up this year.
And that would have been, had that gone out, would have been Corkery's first allowed home run. But Samuel hooked it foul. or rather Blugas hooked it foul. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Says field umpire. Full count. Runner goes. Pitch misses high inside. And so after 2 quick outs, the Diplomats now have runners aboard first and second. And Kevin Lammers stepping up to the plate. Lammers a .292 hitter. 19 hits and 65 at-bats. He's got a couple doubles and 7 RBIs. 12 strikeouts, 6 walks. He takes a curveball on the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-0. Oh, 1 on its way from Corkery. That one skied into center field. Gillen with the call and the catch, and that will do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. Still no score after an inning and a half here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the bottom of the second. It will be Roberts, Seppi, and Elliott for the Garnet after Cole Beaker was picked off during Jackson Roberts' at-bat in the first. So he gets a fresh count now. Goes back to work against Don DiLoretto.
If someone gets picked off while you're at bat, you get to go back up the next one.
That would really suck if, like, it took the bat away from the batter, too. Like, especially if you had somebody like Jackson.
As he swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. And the count is 0-1. DiLoretto kicks and deals. That ball's ripped to third. Field fires across the diamond to Blugas in time for the out. And there is one away. That brings the left-hander Michael Seppi to the plate. Seppi, a .341 hitter on the year, 28 hits and 82 at-bats. With .467 on base percentage, complements 1 home run and 26 RBIs. DiLoretto kicks and deals. And that one's laced into right field. But there is Miller to make the catch. And there are 2 away. And DiLorito's first pitch misses up and away. Count 1-0. Elliott, a .313 hitter, .383 on base percentage. So he laces that one through the hole on the left side and into left field for a base hit. So once again, the Garnet have a man aboard with 2 outs. Now for Holden Bridge. Bridge got off to a blistering start this year. Remains hot, but has cooled off somewhat. A .444 hitter on the year. In conference play, a .387 hitter. Takes a pitch low, and the count is 1-0. He has 9 doubles, 22 RBIs, and a .486 on base percentage on the year. Also quite quick. DiLorito comes set. It'll be a 1-0. That ball's in the dirt. On his way to second goes Seppi. So thanks to a wild pitch, now Bridge gets the hit with a man in scoring position. And that ball's grounded to second base, fielded and thrown to Blugas in time for the out. And that will do it. So no runs, a hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. At the end of 2, no score. So we head to the top of the 3rd. It will be Kaveen, Freeman, and Miller. And that's 9-1-2 for the Diplomats going to work against Jack Corkery, who has been effective thus far. Corkery comes set in the pitch. Inside, and the count is 1-0. And the 1-0 misses down and in. Count 2-0. And there's a strike. Count 2-1. That ball's laced to the shortstop, Mutz, who knocks it down, picks it up fields, fires to first in time for the out. So Mutz recovers and is able to make the play.
Now batting number 23, J.J. Freeman.
Becca, when you are a doctor someday, maybe that could be your donation.
A new sound system?
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have one by
I
then.
hope you have one
Yeah.
before the next time.
That's grounded to first. Beaker Fields flips to Corkery, who beats Freeman to the bag. And there are 2 away.
Number 44, Alex Miller.
This thing is so touchy. This thing's so touchy. It's so weird. Like sometimes it'll like zoom in really fast, and then other times it's like.
I will have a dual degree in School of Clinical Psychology.
Okay.
And there's a strike from Corkery. The count is 0-1 to Miller. Miller, 288 hitter, 1 home run and 10 RBIs.
I have no idea what the differences are, but my girlfriend's sister is a psychologist of some sort. I know she's like a people talk to her about their problems person.
Here's the 1-1.
Counseling.
And that's popped up. Foul behind the plate. And the count 1-2.
Big serious stuff.
1-2 on its way from Corkery and the pitch. Low in the dirt. Count runs even at 2-2. Miller flew out in his first at-bat. Trying to get something to happen here with 2 outs. Corkery comes set. It'll be a 2-2. And the breaking ball just misses low. And the count runs full at 3-2. That ball's grounded to third. Elliott Fields fires to first in time. And that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We've played 2.5. No score here on the Garnet Sports Network.
I'm still kind of deciding if like I want to go into architecture or I want to stay with like structural engineering.
So we head now to the bottom of the third. It will be Mutz, Jacobson, and Gillen for the Garnet. That is 8, 9, and 1 as they go back to work against Don DiLorito.
I want to get really artsy designing spaces.
That's so cool. I kind of wish I had that kind.
DiLorito comes set. And the pitch to Mutz will be
My best friend.
low and outside. And the count is 1-0.
Is that like related to your
Sorry, I wasn't
interest?
listening.
So my best friend's girlfriend does interior design.
Yeah, that's like the final step of like architecture. It's like the actual like putting stuff in a space.
Her major at I went to college with her. Her major is
And
what would be the major for
1-0 misses outside. Count 2-0.
interior design?
Well, that makes sense if she's an interior designer.
That's not your major, and you're telling me that that's like the final stage for you.
No, that's like the final. Yeah, the final component of like the.
And the
design
2-0 on its way.
process.
And clips the corner for a strike.
Architecture firms
Count 2-1.
have like are connected to interior design firms or have in-house interior designer like hire them for them. But it's like yeah.
And the 2-1 on its way. That's fouled off. Laced, sending bodies scattering into the Swarthmore dugout. Count runs 2 and 2.
Right into the dugout.
Oh God. They just opened up a serious can of worms over there.
So DiLoretto
Yeah.
comes set. It'll be a 2-2.
I was like, that's a reminder or something.
That ball's laced off DiLoretto's leg. Fielded by Kaveen, who throws it away. And so Mutz finds himself aboard here to start the third. Mutz getting on base is big. He can run. He's stolen 6 bases in 6 attempts.
Hey, warm.
That'll bring up Sam Jacobson.
Tough call, man.
I was about to say we might expect Jacobson to bunt, and he squares around. Check on Mutzy over at first, who dives back safely.
Yeah, it's tough.
Anything? F&M? Aaron saying error.
I'm going with our guy. Sorry. Oh, yeah.
You can always change it at the end.
Mutz leads off first, and Jacobson again squares around a bunt. DiLoretto kicks and deals, and the bunt is down.
Shit, that might be a double.
And he tries to throw to second. He's going to throw it into center field. And that gets by the center fielder. Mutz is on his way to third. Jacobson on his way to second. He's into second in time. And the Diplomats have thrown themselves into quite a sticky situation. They have now runners on second and third with nobody out.
That's most certainly an error. Most certainly.
So Jacobson got the bunt down. It was not a great bunt. Right back to DiLoretto. He tried to throw to second for a fourth. Airmailed it into center field. The center fielder, Lammers, couldn't come up with it. He runs past it trying to charge. That lets Mutz go to third and Jacobson go to second.
I had no idea where to
And that brings up Jared Gillen, a .352 hitter with 3 home runs, with 2 on and nobody out. So there's a strike.
strike.
And the count is 0-1.
Error for the Diplomats.
Gillen flied out in the first. Would take that same result here. As that ball's in the dirt. Kept in front of Ebert, although it trickles a little bit down the line. Runners hold. Be a 1-1 on its way to Gillen, who steps out, steps back in. Trying to break through here for the Garnet. He swings through a high fastball, and the count runs 1-2. So DiLoretto ahead on the count now. He comes set, it'll be a 1-2 to Gillen. The pitch. That one's sky to center field. Back goes Lammers. He's under it. He makes the catch. Tagging his Mutz. He will score. Tagging going to third is Jacobson. He's there safely. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Gillen, and the Garnet take a 1-0 lead. So that brings up Charlie Levitt. Left-handed hitter with power as he swings through a fastball. And the count is 0-1. And that ball is grounded to second base. Fielded by Kaveen, fires to first in time. Scoring is Jacobson. So Levitt does his job. And the Garnet take a 2-0 lead. And Cole Beaker steps to the plate. Left-handed hitter with some power. As DiLoretto kicks and deals, misses inside. Count 1-0. And DiLoretto misses down and away. Count 2-0. And the 2-0 misses outside, so after getting 2 outs and clearing the bases, DiLoretto is behind on the count, 3-0, but there's a strike in the count. Runs 3-1. The 2 runs the Garnet have scored largely of DiLoretto's making. Mutz led off the inning with a hard liner that DiLoretto could not corral straight up the middle as he walks Beaker. Then Jacobson squared around a bunt. Bunted right back to DiLoretto, who airmailed the throw into center field. Lammers missed the backup. So that put runners on second and third. Then a sac fly from Gillen and a ground out by Levitt brought the 2 runs home. Now Beaker reaches first here on a walk, and that brings up Jackson Roberts. Beaker singled last time and was picked off with Roberts at the plate. But now, it looks like DiLoretto is struggling to find the strike zone as he falls behind Roberts 1-0 after walking Beaker on 5 pitches. Cut on a miss by Roberts, and the count is 1-1.
Are they like cool like that?
They're all on the soccer team.
If you think they're like a responsible, reliable person, definitely. I don't see why not.
It's a 1-1.
We'll ask after.
And the pitch
I think it's fun to get
is up and in.
involved, so.
Count 2-1.
That's the coolest thing in the division 2 sports. Don't at me.
Is what?
What?
What's the coolest thing in the
The porch.
There's a cookout going on today. Go buy babies.
I know.
Is there really?
As that misses inside and gets away briefly from Ebert, but no advance on Beaker's behalf.
Oh, no way. Is there girls?
Do you
They
have
might not be up there
to
yet.
pay? How much money is it?
I don't know. I think it's just a donation from a scholarship fund.
I would definitely go over there.
Yeah. We can walk over there after the game.
It'll be a
That was
3-1
my plan. I just didn't know how much money it was.
Let's do it. Yeah.
from DiLoretto. Comes set and the pitch is high, ball 4. So back-to-back walks now
They can have a toss.
from the Diplomats' right-hander.
Probably gonna have
And that will bring up Michael Seppi.
I thought they might have like a little toss. Oh, they are. There they are.
And that will prompt the pitching coach for the Diplomats to
Oh, I need to get this on video. Are they gonna do
visit DiLoretto and try to settle him down.
Absolutely. If it's like, just make sure you get the details right. Definitely. Do it right now.
Oh, do it now. Do it between the
Okay.
innings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Michael Seppi hits with a couple of men aboard and takes a curveball high. Count 1-0. So after putting 2 men on by his own hand, DiLoretto now struggling with command. Has allowed 2 runs, now has walked 2. And Michael Seppi trying to add to the Garnet lead. He takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-1. That misses up and in.
Do you hear Landry's kid?
Yeah, he's our.
So Seppi ahead on the count now, 2-1. As DiLoretto continues to struggle with command. Comes set, and the pitch is Sky to left field. On comes Lowney. He's under it. He'll make the catch, and that will do it. But the Garnet get a couple runs on 1 hit, 1 big error, 2 men left on base. We played 3. It's 2-0 Garnet.
Tell him to see if they're still.
So we head now to the top of the 4th. It will be Lowney, DiLoretto, and Ebert for the Diplomats going back to work against Jack Corkery, who has allowed just 1 hit and has yet to allow a run.
Okay, no worries. Never mind.
Corkery's fastball misses outside. And the count is
Never mind. Bye-bye.
1-0.
Yeah.
And that's grounded up the middle. Ranging over his mutts, Fields fires to first in time. Nice play from the freshman shortstop, ranging to his left. And there is 1 away.
Yeah, we'll probably do it between the innings.
What do you sign? Water and water ice? Water ice.
Garnet go green. Okay, awesome. It'll happen after they're done batting.
Are you selling it or is it just?
We're selling it, yes.
it?
Okay, awesome. Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you so much.
Really?
And Corkery misses up and away. That ball's grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. So DiLoretto reaches, takes a big turn, but decides to hold on.
Why not, though? Yeah.
You could just get a book.
Yeah, you could.
I might do that actually. It makes sense for
That'd be cool.
play-by-play.
So DiLoretto leads off first.
That could really help people.
Kyle Ebert at the plate, fouls it off. First base side out of play, and the count is 0-1.
Following the live stats, but it got too complicated.
You gotta get yourself in a routine.
That's what it is.
It's like really compare everything all set up.
It doesn't help that we don't have a press box like this, so I can't really spread out.
Yeah. Is that a ball?
That was a ball. Yeah, it was like above his head.
And there's a strike, and the count is 1-2. That's cut on a miss, strike 3. And there are 2 away.
Now batting number 10, Will Samuel.
Corkery's second strikeout of the afternoon.
Better than before.
Well, the funniest was when it was making like those like terrible like haunted house like sounds. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Pitch is fouled off, and the count is 0-1.
Yeah.
That pitch is lined into left field, and that's a base hit. DiLoretto holds it second as Levitt gets it in. And with 2 outs, the Diplomats have a little bit of a rally going. They have runners on first and second. And their first baseman, Daniel Blugas, coming to the plate. Blugas walked in his first trip to the dish. Now has an opportunity to knock in some runs, close the gap between the Diplomats and the Garnet. He represents the go-ahead run. That ball's grounded to short. Mutz fields, fires to third in time for the out, and that will do it. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left on base. We played 3.5. It's 2-0 Garnet. So we head now to the bottom of the 4th. Elliott, Bridge, and Mutz due up for the Garnet. Elliott singled in his first trip to the dish. Looking to get something started here now for the Garnet. A right-handed hitter with some pop. He's gone yard before this season. As he takes a fastball high, and the count is 1-0. That ball's skied to right. Under it is Miller and makes the catch. There's a strike. That ball's grounded up the middle and fielded by Kaveen, but Bridge will beat it out, no throw. And so with one out, the Garnet have a man aboard.
New pitcher. I didn't think he was doing that bad.
What?
Maybe he was just like trailing off. I don't know.
And that will be all for DiLoretto. As the Diplomats call on their bullpen. And they go to the left-handed first year, Ryan Gabrielle from Wilton, Connecticut.
Maybe he's still bad.
Only batted, didn't he?
So this will be interesting because the Diplomats elected not to list DH in their lineup. They let DiLoretto hit, but now DiLoretto's out of the game. Instead, Gabrielle on the mound. Thus far on the year,
Too much moving.
Gabrielle has just thrown an inning and a third.
Really?
Has surrendered 2 hits, but no runs. So, somewhat of an unproven entity here. He will face the bottom of the Garnet order, Luke Mutz, Sam Jacobson. And if either of them get on base, then Jared Gillen.
Well, good. I mean, it looks usable right now, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Keep me posted on that. Unless it's like every other second, obviously.
So Mutz steps in, lefty on lefty situation here, and you wonder if maybe that's why they called on the freshman. This is the part of the order that caused trouble for the Diplomats in the third. It was Mutts' leadoff signal that sparked the Garnet rally and led to the 2 runs. Trying to keep something going here with 1 out and a man aboard. As the breaking ball misses inside and the count is 1-0 on Mutts. And words now between the Diplomats bench and the home plate umpire. 1-0 on its way. Gabrielle comes set. And the pitch is high and the count 2-0. A low zone today from the home plate umpire. It's been that way more or less for both sides. As Gabrielle comes set, it'll be a 2-0. That pitch is fouled back. Count 2-1.
What are you listening to?
Yankees game. Can't help myself, I'm sorry.
2-1 on its way. And the throw over to check on Bridge, who's back standing up.
So,
Yep,
what is a ball?
it's essentially when a pitcher fakes like they're going to pitch and they don't.
Okay.
He's getting a pickup on himself a lot.
So like if he picks his leg up and puts it back down but doesn't pitch.
Runner goes. Hit and run was on as Mutts fouls it back. And he's kicking himself, wishing that he had let Bridge take the bag. He had a pretty good jump.
I don't think he actually meant to hit that ball.
Either.
Sure.
I mean, yeah.
Because don't they do that thing sometimes where like they
It's just you have
swing?
to swing. It's like even if that was like the worst pitch ever, you better be swinging to like make sure this runner gets the second pitch.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
But you want to hit it if you can.
On the ground.
And that's popped foul towards left field, but that finds the ground, and Mutts still has life.
Mid-kick plan is in the building. The mid-kick plan is in the building.
Aesthetically perfect game.
Honestly. Like ducklings.
Between them and Kozlowski is like, honestly.
I think his son looks like the
It'll be a
guy
2-2
who
on its way
played,
from Gabrielle to Mutts.
Son and Jerry Maguire, and like the son who played.
Okay.
Gabrielle comes set,
And Stuart Little.
and the pitch
Little, yeah.
is chopped to second base. Kaveen flips to second one, throws on to first, not in time as Mutts legs it out.
Sadly, I don't know Jerry Maguire that well.
So the ground out
I'll look it up on my phone.
goes 4-6. And there are 2 away. So with 2 down and a man aboard, Sam Jacobson comes to the plate. He reached on an error, trying to bunt Mutts over in the third, and takes a strike here and is behind on the count 0-1.
Yes, exactly. It's really the glasses and the blonde hair. Like,
Yeah, and the chubby cheeks. So cute.
it's probably gonna be a good player someday.
Be an 0-1, the pitch. There's a strike. And the count 0-2. Mutts also a threat to run. Although with the lineup about to turn over, it's unclear that you would want to. And the 0-2 on its way from Gabrielle. The pitch is down in the dirt. Ebert can't find it, and so Mutts moves up to second. Count 1-2. It'll be a 1-2 on its way. The pitch. Scott, third base side out of play. Fairly deep. Count holds 1-2.
A lot of that one.
1-2 on its way. And I don't know how he even got a piece of barrel on that one as it's fouled third base side. That looked to be just about at his ankles, but he brought his hands in, turned on it, and count holds.
Oh yeah, don't. Never mind. I caught the bee under that cup. I totally forgot to put it outside. Still under that cup.
Really?
Yeah, there's another one there. There's
1-2.
It's gonna be in front of my camera.
And that's laced into center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. Round third comes Mutzi. He's going to score. It's a base hit and an RBI for Sam Jacobson. And the Garnet have a 2-0 lead.
3. 3
So that brings up Jared Gillen in the top of the Garnet order. Gillett 0 for 1 with a sac fly and an RBI.
Get on. I mean, not that he doesn't get on a lot, but like, whenever he does hit, it's always in like a big spot. Like, it's always an RBI or like late innings. Yeah. It's like he only doesn't hit when like it doesn't matter. Yeah.
The bee's
That's
right
pulled
in
foul, and
front
the count
of the camera.
0-1 on Gillen.
He came to rescue his friend.
You took it out of the cup?
No, it's another one.
Wouldn't his friend be like screaming under that cup? Like, this is not a good place to be.
When I was in 4 or 5, I was sad and lonely.
And that misses outside.
That's not the point.
Count 1-1.
No one would play with me on the seesaw one day. Yeah. So I went and sat on it by myself. Turns out everybody else knew that there's a wasp nest underneath the seesaw. I got stung 9 times.
Sheesh.
It was not a fun time.
Yeah, I bet.
I just like don't want to put my hand to like zoom in.
That misses high. And Gillen finds himself ahead on the count 2-1.
I am?
Yes.
Yeah. That's true.
You should
He'd be so much happier
appreciate
outside.
flying solo much more than it seems like you do.
Flying solo.
Like,
I love being alone.
yes. And you should.
The 2-1's fouled off. Count 2-2.
Very much a hermit, and I love it. My friends make fun of me because I go to bed at like 9:30.
Yeah, don't see that as being made fun of.
No.
As the older I get, the more I just like want to just chill. And like not.
I had
So 1 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
young adult.
Gabrielle comes set. The 2-2 is cut on a missed in the dirt. Strike 3. Ebert Fields fires to first in time, and that'll retire Gillen. But the Garnet get a run on a couple of hits. No errors, leave 1 man on. We've played 4. It's 3-0 Garnet. So we head now to the top of the fifth.
Now batting number 5, Kevin Lammers.
It will be Lammers, Kaveen, and Freeman. That's 9, 1, and 2 for the Diplomats. Trying to answer a 3-run Garnet lead.
Yeah, I would keep it out until it comes to the point where it's like, well, see, we disagree, and we can still be.
That one's fouled straight back.
I mean, of course, that is going to be your expertise someday. So.
My prop works a lot in like women's healthcare with pericarditis and postpartum depression.
And that curveball hits Lammers. So
Now batting number 2, Justin.
the Diplomats, for the first time all day, have their leadoff man aboard. And Coach Midkiff would like a word with the home plate umpire, as he thinks Lammers did not make an adequate effort, I'm guessing, to get out of the way.
Oh, do you do that? Do you have to make an effort to get out of the way?
Technically, yes, but that situation,
I don't think so.
I don't think he could have gotten out of the way even if he tried. So the last game, that kid blatantly stuck his arm into play and got hit.
I remember that. It was
Not something you see called very often.
right.
And certainly, had the call not gone that way, the Diplomats coach would have positively lost it. But nonetheless, the gripe is registered. And Kaveen comes and steps to the dish. Corkery's pitch misses inside, and the count is 1-0.
Because for some reason, people see that as like not acceptable. But it's just, you're not a villain. But it's not the way it's supposed to be.
The rest of the world also likes healthy world.
Yes, that too. Exactly.
There's still wackos out there, but it's just a high concentration of wacko.
The other thing that's really starting to flip the script is that like, a lot of famous people are opposite. No, lunchbox.
Well, I mean, I'm more like slot than not. It's
So
just
2 balls, 2 strikes
Yeah, same.
on Kaveen. Lammers leads off first. That ball's fouled off.
And of course, famous people have such an
Lammers has 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Been caught twice, so they do send him from time to time, but it's far from a sure thing to make it. Kaveen, a .230 hitter, 10 RBIs,
like if I move, if he hits
3 extra base hits, and that's chopped softly, and that's going to be trouble as Corkery falls down trying to field it. So some weak contact on the part of Kaveen leads to some good luck. And now the Diplomats have runners on first and second with nobody out. And their leadoff man coming to the plate representing the tying run.
It's like right in front of the camera.
Thus far, no action in the Garnet bullpen. Corkery has thrown 68 pitches on the day.
I went to a school near Pittsburgh called Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Yeah. There's a lot of schools in this area that are in the same sports conference.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Westchester, Kutztown.
D2?
Yeah.
And there's a strike in the count 0-1.
It's not high academics, but it was good for my field, communications and journalism, because it's Division II sports, so they could take the broadcasting very seriously and stuff like that. So it was good for me. The student newspaper was very serious. Paid position.
And there's a strike count 0-2.
And I became like the sports editor. So it was cool. I got like a paycheck for it.
Lammers off second, Kaveen off first.
Yeah.
Corkery ahead on the count 0-2. Garnet with a 3-0 lead here in the top of the fifth. Freeman at the plate, trying to break through for the Diplomats. As he lines one fair down the third base line, that's a base hit. And no, not fair. Foul ball as per the home plate umpire. So, briefly was quite excited there.
So I actually started at a community college in my hometown.
And some words on the part of Freeman for the home plate umpire.
Yeah, so I went to Mercer for 5 semesters.
But it's just a long strike. Count holds 0 and 2.
Call it first, and I was like, not worth it.
Runners hold at first and second.
I went to grad school in Ohio.
It'll be an 0-2 from Corkery.
No. Ashland.
Misses low in the dirt, blocked by Jacobson.
Graduate assistant doing this kind of
Runners hold.
So like, I get paid for my grad school and stuff like that. So that was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. And the sports were really good too. So it was a good experience.
And the 1-2 misses high.
I was there at a perfect time. I never saw our women's basketball team lose a game. They went 73-0. They won the national championship the 1 year. Then I came here and they lost in the national championship. Yeah.
And that ball is grounded to second. Mutzy fields to second one, on to first. Scooped out by Beaker, but the throw not in time. So there's one away. And the Diplomats have men on the corners.
6'4".
Lammers off third, Freeman off first. Miller at the plate. Miller 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded out and flied out. Takes a curveball high for a ball, and the count is 1 and 0.
We had a football team there that was really good. And Division II, you don't see many Division II players in the NFL. There's like a good back of them, like 25 guys maybe. We had this kid that originally
And the 1-0 misses high, count 2 and 0.
transferred to Ashland to play football, grew like 3 inches and like 90 pounds. And he declared for the NFL draft after his junior season and got drafted in the second round by the Bears. Yeah.
That one's pop foul, first base side, giving chase
It's definitely the most.
is Beaker, but it'll find the ground.
And he still plays for the Bears. He'll be in his 3rd season next year. But yeah, he was good. Yeah. Yeah. Now this kid was like 6'7", 280. Yeah.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Share some wealth.
Yeah.
Redistribute.
That ball's in the dirt, runner goes. And he'll be standing on second. So the 3-1, 2-1 lands in the dirt. Count runs 3 and 1. So Corkery now behind in the count. Diplomats have runners on second and third, tying run at the plate.
No, but I see him on social media.
Corkery steps off, wants to think about it a little more. Looks into the sign, looks into Jacobson for the sign. And comes set, it will be a 3-1. And that ball's fisted foul, third base side. And that a play.
That's pretty funny. What's that? She was saying that she went to like a, what is it, a formal with a 6'8" kid and wore 5-inch heels and it still didn't make a difference.
And the payoff pitch is fouled off. Count holds 3 and 2.
I was wearing heels yesterday for this thing I had to go to, and my sister is 6 foot, and I was still shorter than her.
Really?
I lost half an inch this summer. Honestly.
And the 3-2. Is high, ball 4. And now the tying run is on first base.
But it was okay because
Still no action from the Garnet in their pen.
Oh, you're fine then.
I was with my Jewish side, so they were all short.
And that will bring up Kelsey Lowney.
Forbids men over 5'10".
Oh, my dad then screwed
Lonnie 0 for 2 on the day.
Is your dad
Has grounded out
Jewish?
Yeah, my dad's a Jewish son.
twice.
Nathan is Jewish?
Garnet would take a ground ball here.
Anything can be Jewish.
That one's skied. Foul. Third base side out of play. The count is 0 and 1.
It's like the old stuff the old Jewish fans.
They need to spell it Becca, right? Or like Brady. I wouldn't say that's Jewish.
I think his mom.
So that one's popped up. The 0-2 misses high.
My friend though here, his name's Adam Mermelstein.
I
And
love him. I love
Yeah.
his name is Mermelstein.
but
He's the best.
I told my dad about him and I was like telling him, yeah, Adam, his name's Adam Mermelstein.
That ball's grounded to short, hit softly, much across his body, not in time. A good play by Mutz. He had to work around the runner, field and throw on the run, and it was pretty close.
Do you want me to do it
So DiLoretto steps to the plate. Now, he's able to hit because he's the designated hitter, as well as the DH. And now a visit from the Garnet pitching coach.
Anyway, I was telling my dad, like, yeah, Adam Mermelstein. And then I finally got to like the part of the story. I was like, yeah, he's Jewish. My dad goes, yeah, I know. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, Mermelstein. I was like, oh.
He went to Berwick.
Yeah.
Jewish as he did.
Yeah, my
This campus is awesome when it comes to this campus is awesome when it comes to like the large groups of different kinds of people and stuff.
Action now in the Swarthmore bullpen.
Interesting. Yeah. One of a kind. I've learned a lot.
I think people here take it for granted or like think it's not as like compared to other places, like certainly.
More diverse.
Yeah.
I think it's more so diverse in like types of people.
So DiLoretto steps to the plate
You know, like
with the bases loaded, one run already in.
whereas definitely more than here. But like types of
Freeman off third. As that ball gets away from Jacobson, on comes Freeman. The throw to the plate is not in time. So a second run comes in for the Diplomats. Garnet now lead 3-2. And the go-ahead run now is standing on second base in Kyle Lowney. So DiLoretto has a chance to take himself off the hook for the loss with a base hit here, or even a fly ball as a curveball drops in from Corkery for a strike. Couple tough breaks for the Garnet this inning. Two weakly hit balls, one chopper just in front of the home plate. That's reached for base hit, and that ball is booted by Connor Elliott, and everyone's going to be safe. And Corkery tries to throw and catch the runner. That airmails that into left field. Another run scores, and the Diplomats have taken a 4-3 lead. Up until that airmail throw, Corkery had simply been the victim of some bad luck. A weak chopper that just sort of stayed fair, allowed one man to reach. Another weak ground ball to the shortstop resulted in another infield hit off of weak contact. That ball hit pretty hard right at Connor Elliott. It's a play that Elliott will tell you he should make. But it's booted off, and then sort of a panicked throw on behalf of Corkery allows the go-ahead run to score, and now he misses high with a fastball, and the count is 1-0. Still only one out here in the top of the fifth. That ball's fouled off.
You're gonna have to put in the errors and stuff. I didn't do that, so you're gonna have to do that.
So things unraveling quickly here for the Garnet. Corkery trying to regain some control. Corkery comes set. It'll be a 1-1. Cut on a miss. Count 1-2. Pitch is high. Count 2-2. 2-2 on its way from Corkery. The pitch misses high with a breaking ball. Count 3-2. Payoff pitch is grounded to third. Elliott falls down to his knees. Now fires across the diamond in time. Throw down to third is not in time. So there are 2 away and a runner on third. And that will bring up the third baseman, Will Samuel. Samuel 2 for 2 on the day.
Oh, they're 2 in here now.
And there's a strike from Corkery, and the count 0-1.
Come on, Cork, get through this inning. Come on.
Pitch is fouled off. Count 1-2.
Come on, Cork. Get through this inning. Come
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Time is called. Corkery trying to work himself out of a long and winding inning. As Jacobson blocks a ball in the dirt.
on. How did he catch that?
That ball's lined into right center field. That's going to be a base hit. Could be extra bases. Ranging over is Gillen. On his way to second is Samuel, and he's there. It's a double and an RBI for Will Samuel, and the Diplomats take a 5-3 lead. And that looks to conclude Jack Corkery's evening. So he had been effective through 4, and then the wheels just sort of came off. The final line on Corkery, 4 2/3 innings, 5 runs, just 2 of them earned, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. They're going to call on the left-hander, Zach Gonzalez. And we'll be right back after this. So Zach Gonzalez, senior left-hander from Chicago, Illinois. From a number of places, really, but most recently Chicago. Toes the rubber for the Garnet. Runner on second base, Corkery's responsibility. And there's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Gonzalez, a sidewinding lefty, has thrown 9 innings thus far this year, allowing 7 runs, pitched to a 6.75 ERA. He's struck out 5, walked just 1. And that ball's grounded foul, first base side. And the count runs 0-2.
It's so funny. I tried to get out that door to fill my water bottle, and there's so many parents trying to hide in the shade right there. There's like maybe 8 or 9 parents right there. Yeah.
It's hot today.
That pitch misses low in the dirt.
Now a flies in here. What the hell?
And here's the 1-2 on its way from Zach Gonzalez. Holds the set and deals. That ball's lined into right field. On comes Bridge. That's going to drop, and it's going to be a base hit. Around third comes the runner. Throw coming home. It's going to be in time. A laser from Holden Bridge. Nails Samuel at the plate. So the Garnet escape a mess of an inning without further damage. 5 runs, 3 hits, 2 big errors. 1 man left on base. We've played 4.5. We're halfway through. It's 5-3 Diplomats here on the Garnet Sports Network. So, a tough punch to the gut for the Garnet, but maybe a little bit of a momentum saver in that bullet of an outfield assist from Holden Bridge. It will be Levitt, Beaker, and Roberts for the Garnet, 2, 3, 4, the very heart of their order.
I mean, I know baseball. I just don't know some of the intricacies. Yeah.
Gabrielle comes set, left-hander in his 3rd inning of work all season. Misses high, and the count 2-0 now to Charlie Levitt.
He kind of might have a concussion.
And that misses low and away. So the count runs now 3-0 to Charlie Levitt. The last thing you want to do right now, if you're Gabrielle and you've just been handed a 2-run lead, is to put the leadoff man aboard with 4 straight balls. So here comes the automatic, but that misses high, and it's ball 4. And so the Garnet have their leadoff man aboard. And their first baseman, Cole Beaker, stepping to the dish. Levitt a threat to run, although his run by itself not particularly meaningful. Garnet trails 2. Although it's early enough in the game that they might play for just 1 run. But Gabrielle misses high, and the count is 1-0 to Cole Beaker. As the Garnet still await their first strike of the inning.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Is it 1-0 or 2-0?
He'll tell you. I'm pretty sure it's 1-0 because I think the first one he checked on him.
Yeah.
He just said that he hasn't thrown a strike recently.
True.
I didn't realize that.
1-0 on its way.
Balls. These are the guys you want.
There's a brief conversation between Gabrielle and Ebert. Ebert back now behind the dish. Beaker steps in. It'll be a 1-0. Levitt leads off first. Garnet trailing 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch. Misses outside. Count 2-0. And the 2-0 misses down. That's 6 consecutive balls. 7 consecutive balls from Gabrielle. You can't imagine, as good a hitter as Beaker has been, you can't imagine he has a green light here. He's taken all the way, and there's a strike. Count 3-1. One on, no one out. 3-1 coming on its way to Cole Beaker. The pitch is down, ball 4, and the first 2 men have now walked. That will prompt a visit from the Diplomats coach and could well conclude Gabrielle's evening, and it looks as though it will. So Gabrielle gets important outs in the 4th, but exits here in the 5th with 2 men aboard. You're listening to the Garnet Sports Network. We'll be right back. So the Diplomats go to their bullpen. They call on freshman Kyle Roche from Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Roche, in 18 innings, has pitched to a 7.71 ERA, striking out 17, walking 7. And that one's laced by Robertson to left center field. That is a base hit. Around thirds comes Levitt. They're going to wave him home. He will score. Beaker on his way back. He has to hold that second. It's a base hit and an RBI for Jackson Roberts. Garnet now trail 5-4.
Dude, what did I just say?
Roche, a big fella, 6'7".
Ooh, outfield Kim's back. Glitchy. Come on, Seb. Come on, Seb.
That brings Michael Seppi up, and he's going to pop it up. Third base side, out of play. Count is 1-0. That pitch misses low and in. Count 2-1.
It was really loud. Sounded very angry.
So 1-1 on its way from Roche to Seppi. Misses high. Count 2-1.
He is throwing. He is throwing.
You look at Roche's numbers, and it's clear he has pretty good stuff and a good strikeout to walk ratio, but
They have a pretty tall team.
despite the fact that the outlying numbers are good, it seems like he's had trouble getting the results he wants and now finds himself behind on Michael Seppi 3-1.
Did you look at their team height? Their team average is 6 foot, I think, or maybe taller. They're really tall.
Roche comes set. It'll be a 3-1. The pitch. Fouled off, and the count runs full on Seppi, 3-2.
Maybe it is actually 6 foot. Charlie, that's definitely it. Where is he?
Listed at 6 foot. He was like almost out of hours.
That seems like a lie.
He's definitely 6 foot.
I put 5'4" on mine.
Right.
Now I'm like 5'2".
Now.
Oh yeah, I had back surgery over the summer and I lost half an inch.
And that'll hit Seppi.
Yeah, I'm 5'8", but I just got to 5'8". Like I was 5'7" and like 3/4 for the
What do you
longest
listed on the
time.
website?
So I'd always listed as 5'7" because I felt too guilty lying and saying.
So do you need to be 5'8" now?
I think I am 5'8".
You're listed as 5'8"?
Yeah, I think so. I think my parents made me change it.
Yeah, like when you told me about the Josie being listed as a freshman and she's a sophomore, I immediately changed it.
Now the bases are loaded here. Elliott swings through that one.
Such a stiff.
Oh, I know.
It looks really strong though. Like
I asked everybody today of the seniors which of the hitters would be the best pitcher, and they all said Connor because of the way he throws. And it's like,
it's like sideways.
yeah, it's like he's like a sidelinder. His whole game is like 1940s. It's crazy.
You say that all the time.
What?
You say that all the time.
Yeah. So does Jacob. He's described it perfectly on the broadcast the other day. I'm not even gonna try and repeat it.
Elliott fouls that one off. Count 1-2.
Yeah, it's great.
Exactly like
And it's so true. Like if you were to watch like a clip of like a 1940s baseball player, it's like
the black and white filter
yeah,
on them.
and like yeah.
Look how many people we got out on the documentary.
It's the 1-2 on its way from Roche to Elliott. The pitch is laced at the first baseman. They're going to throw home. They will make the out. And there is one away.
Come on, hold in.
That pitch is low. Count 1-0.
Or get a double. I said walk him. Then we can hide him. Oh my lord. Look at Luke's pants.
We need a new company.
There's a strike.
Also, Connor told me today that he was waiting for us to lose with those pants on. Like, he was wearing them until we lost.
He was superstitious. Okay, yeah.
Bridge.
We were right then.
A
Yeah,
big
my
throw in the
baseball,
top
like,
half
was
of this inning to keep
score, like, every
the
time.
Diplomats scoring limited to 5. He's going to chop that one back to first base. Throw home is in time. And there are 2 away, so 2 ground outs to first. And the Garnet fail to take advantage of the bases loaded and nobody out. They have one last crack at it, needing now a base hit from the freshman shortstop Luke Mutz.
Doing the work is not patient.
There's a strike. And that's grounded right back to the pitcher. Roche flips to first in time for the out, and the bases are left loaded. But the Garnet get 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 3 on base at the end of 5. It is 5-4 Diplomats here on the Garnet Sports Network. So we head now to the top of the 6th. Zach Gonzalez out now for his first full inning of work. Gonzalez will face Lammers, Cavine, and Freeman. That's 8, 9, and 1. And he clips the bottom of the zone for a strike. Count 0-1.
Still got a long game. Still got half a game.
There's a strike. Count 0-2. Here's the 0-2. That's grounded to first. Beaker fields. He'll take it himself. And quickly there's one away.
Now batting number 2, Justin Kahane.
I like that realistic. It's nice and like cropped. It's cropped well.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Doing my best. This guy's like not wearing an undershirt. He's just like open chest. There actually a lot of them are.
Yeah, I noticed that. Anyway, sometimes
And the breaking ball misses outside. Count 1-0.
Yes.
There's a strike.
That was
And the count 1-1.
that first one. I thought it was.
that one right there.
That one I thought it was. I was like, I thought it was.
That ball's laced deep to left field. If it's fair, it's gone, but it's foul. And the 1-2 misses outside. Count runs even at 2-2.
Getting autographs from all the players.
Who?
That little kid.
He's getting autographs?
Yeah, they like threw him a ball or like gave him a ball or something.
Oh, cool.
So
So
they're
is this
all.
guy.
That ball's laced into right center field. On comes Bridge. He'll make the catch, and there are 2 away.
Now batting number 23, J.J. Freeman.
It's so funny. I'm like zoomed in on the outfielder, and so then when I come back, I'm like zoomed in on Sam pulling up his pants
Yeah.
every single time.
That ball's grounded up the middle, fielded by Mutz. Fires across the diamond in time, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. Gonzalez works a quick 1-2-3 sixth. Garnet trail 5-4, headed to the bottom of the 6th. So we head now to the bottom of the 6th. It will be Jacobson, Gillen, and Levitt for the Garnet. That is 9, 1, and 2.
I hope Lev
As they try to erase this 5-4 deficit.
demolish this kid's pitches.
And Jacobson swings through the pitch. Count is 0-1.
To you. At bat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sounded like you were just
As Jacobson skies a pop-up to shallow left.
Now batting number 5,
Backpedaling
Gillen.
is Freeman, who makes the catch, and there is one away.
Oh, Gilly. Gilly's gonna go. Come out of this.
That'll bring up center fielder Jared Gillen, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a sac fly and an RBI. See, grounds it right back to Roche. Fields flips to first in time, and quickly there are 2 down.
Now batting number 3, Charlie Levitt.
Levitt swings through a fastball, and the count is 0-1. He swings through another fastball, count 0-2 on the Garnet left fielder. The 0-2 on its way to Levitt is lined over the head of the second baseman Kaveen and into right field for a base hit. So with 2 outs, Garnet have a man aboard, and that will bring up Cole Beaker. Beaker's walked twice and singled in the first. He's also been picked off. Levitt leads off first. Beaker digs in. Roche comes set. Runner goes. Pitch is cut on a miss. Throw down to second is going to hit Levitt and stays in the infield. So Levitt swipes second.
Ball or strike?
Strike. He swung. Take out.
That's laced, and that'll get by the first baseman. Levitt's going to round third. He will score. It's a base hit and an RBI for Cole Beaker, and the game is tied at 5.
Now batting number 33, Jackson Long.
Probably will be scored as an error.
Yeah, it took a bad bounce. Come on now. Yeah, gotta have the run, my friend. I don't know what that was, if it was ball or strike. Look at the
I gave Connor an error on that hard hit to third earlier.
look at the run hits errors.
That's fouled off. Count 1-0.
Picture that.
572. You're gonna get a call from someone really important with that area code. See what it is.
Tell you the picture.
Texas.
Square.
And that pitch misses.
Exactly where an area code is. I don't think it's like mapped off, right? Just says Texas.
I mean, Delaware, the whole state of Delaware is the same area code, but we're very tiny.
And that pitch is sky deep to right field, but foul and out of play. Count runs even at 2-2.
572. Wow, there's a lot of area codes in Texas.
This
Yeah, I know.
did I already tell you that?
Yes. I'm okay with it.
I don't like it.
Most people don't.
That's popped up. Foul first base side out of play. Count holds at 2-2.
But he's not funny. He's just rude.
One time in the signing school, was like fighting after the game or something.
Yeah, the kid like talked back.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
I'm okay with it for the most part. Keep it baseball related, and I'm okay with it. I would wish that he would go clear and black.
Me too. That's like if you're out there, I'm fine with it.
Like that's where the students are.
Runner goes. That ball's grounded to short. Shortstop charges, pumps, fires across the diamond in time, and that will do it. But the Garnet get a run on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 man left on base. We head to the 7th. We're tied at 5. We head now to the top of the 7th. It will be Miller, Lowney, and DiLoretto for the Diplomats. Going back to work against Zach Gonzalez, who misses inside and falls behind on the count 1-0. That ball's popped up. Beaker makes the call. Camped under it and makes the catch. And there's one away.
I feel like Beaker makes things look so easy sometimes.
He's what?
Baker makes things look so easy sometimes.
I think he's one of the best athletes that Swarthmore's ever had, for sure. He's on the Rin McCoy, Cam Wiley path.
That's popped. Foul behind the plate.
Did that pitch go?
I think Beaker could be one of the best pitchers on this team, too.
He has pitched.
Yeah. He's let up 2 runs in 18 innings pitched in his college career. And he was pitcher of the year in high school for his conference or whatever.
How do you calculate ERA?
It's like basically, if I had to explain it, it's runs per like 9 innings pitched. Like so it takes your runs and it imagines that you pitch like 9 innings. Yeah. So it's like let's pretend you're gonna pitch the whole game. Your ERA tells us about how many runs you allow if you did it.
Just a proportion.
But of
Oh,
course,
well, I did
yeah,
that
but
way
of
too
course,
prematurely.
it's way harder to do when you pitch 9 innings. There's a formula.
I'm not gonna review.
So Gonzo ahead on the count 1-2. Lowney 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI. He swings through that one for strike 3, and there are 2 away. Gonzo has had the Diplomats hitters off balance all afternoon.
Like him, and it curved out so much, so he went like this, and
Yeah.
still couldn't touch it.
It's just such a change of speeds. It's like tough to deal with. I am getting a kick out of the bounce house in right field. It's like
How did I not notice that?
it's like we're a real like minor league baseball team with like a whole like
Yeah.
setup going. You know?
Ball.
We need a mascot.
Yeah.
Where's our Phoenix?
We definitely need to get that person out here
I think
sweating.
it's Ricky.
It changes. We just kind of give the opportunity. It was one of the maintenance guys for some of the basketball games.
Little kids back me.
But yeah, that person would be very hot out here.
Yeah.
You can't do
We'd have a
anything.
lawsuit on our hands. But it'd be cool.
So Gonzalez ahead on the count, 1 and 2 on Di Loretto. Di Loretto also 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. The 1-2 from Gonzalez, the pitch, is chopped back to the mound. Gonzalez has it. He'll flip to Beaker for the out, and that will do it. The Diplomats go 1-2-3. We're going to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch. We're tied at 5.
As Gonzo this year for
Yeah. Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, because Gonzo's his favorite player.
Because Gonzo's his favorite,
You know,
which is I think so cute. That's so funny.
Brantley has like no interest whatsoever in actual basketball.
But he's obsessed with it.
So we head now to the bottom of the 7th.
Zach Young is like royal.
Yeah.
It will be Seppi, Elliott, and Bridge going back to work against Kyle Roche, who has been effective thus far.
Ball.
Although he has allowed a run, allowed the Garnet to tie the game. There's a strike.
Whoa, set.
As that pitch is fouled off. The count is 1-2. Roche comes set, kicks, and deals. It'll be a 1-2 to Seppi. And that's laced down the right field line, but foul. And the count holds at 1-2.
That'd have been beautiful. That'd have been beautiful.
Sorry.
2-2 is cut on a miss. And there's one down. That'll bring up Connor Elliott. He is 1 for 3 on the day.
Still the first one. How'd that go?
It's good, yeah. I got a bunch of them like blowing out.
Nice.
I don't know if that's instant like if they won or not, but
Yeah. Even I can't keep up.
they keep flying.
And there's a strike. Count 0-1. The ball's chopped to first. Bluegus takes it to the bag himself, fires it around the diamond, and there are 2 away.
Now batting number 17, Holden Bridge.
As the 0-1's fouled off. Or rather, the first pitch to Bridge fouled off. Count 0-1. Bridge 1 for 3 on the day. Trying to get on base, get something started here in the 7th with 2 down. The pitch from Roche is fouled off behind the Franklin and Marshall dugout. And the count is 0-2. And that ball's grounded up the middle and through for a base. Oh, backhanded by the second baseman. Fires across the diamond, not in time. Bluegus cannot corral the throw. Looked for a second like it had gotten through. Good play from Kaveen, just getting to it.
I like his walk-up song.
Like what?
I like his walk-up song.
So that'll bring up Luke Mutz.
That and goals, I think.
It's different than everyone else's.
Mutz also 1 for 3 on the day. Trying to string together a couple hits here for the Garnet as Roche checks on Bridge over at first. He is back standing up.
There's like another one that does that too, right?
No, he eventually changed. Apparently he was like superstitious and like was wearing it until they lost.
Okay.
But they lost on Tuesday, so he should
So
not
he
be
has
wearing
no
his
excuse.
pants.
Got it. Mine would 100% be Old Town Road right now.
Roche holds the stretch, and he's holding the ball for a while, and now will step off. Not what I would want as a hitter. It'd probably be driving you crazy to wait that long. Mutz steps back in. Bridge off first, 2 down, and the pitch from Roche. Pitch out. Snap throw back to second, and he is back safely. Although it was close, Bluegus disagrees. The Black Crow.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that? Did you see that bird?
Yeah, he's been around the whole day.
They were feeding it earlier, so.
Oh, geez, it's not going to leave then.
And now Franklin and Marshall's coach, Ryan Horning, wants an explanation as to why the umpire called Bridge safe at first base. I reckon the umpire thought that his hand touched the bag before the glove touched the runner, but I'm not entirely sure.
Going to the other.
Be a 1-0 on its way to Mutz. He swings through that one, count 1-1.
Hey, Kyle.
Just say it. I've been pretty good. Go ahead and remind me like 6
Runner goes, throw down to second is going to be not in time. Whoa! Is going to be in time. Caught stealing and Bridge not wanting to leave second base. From here, it didn't even look that close. Perhaps it was a makeup call for the play at first. But that'll do it for the Garnet. No runs, a hit, no errors because of the caught stealing, no men left on base. We're tied at 5.
Leading off the top of the eighth, number 8.
So we head now to the top of the 8th. It will be Ebert, Samuel, and Blugas going back to work against Zach Gonzalez, who's been effective thus far, has yet to allow a run through 2 2/3 innings of work. 2 2/3 innings of work, rather.
So, just so you all
And there's a strike.
this game goes extra innings. The second game will be a 7-inning game. I'm like 99% positive on that. Could be wrong. Yes.
That ball's grounded foul, third base side. And count holds 0-2.
I like the. I think the kids love that his name is Gonzo.
Yeah.
Like, I would love that as a kid.
Gonzalez comes set. It'll be an 0-2.
A lot of these guys are really good.
The pitch
Yeah. There are definitely some comedians on this team.
misses high, and the count 1-2.
That's like the basketball team. The basketball team is really good. Kids.
Yeah.
A lot of them are going into ed. Like a lot of them are going into education.
And that ball's laced into center field. On comes Gillen. He won't get there. Has to play it on a hop.
Now batting number
So
2,
Ebert's aboard with a leadoff single. That brings Samuel to the plate. He's had himself a heck of a day. He's 3 for 3 with an RBI.
Now it's 5-8-2.
Yeah.
The edge. Northwestern. Erie. Clarendon. I probably was some of my contacts.
And there's a bunt.
Foul.
That rolls foul. Elliott saw it coming all the way. I sort of picked it up quickly as soon as it was in foul territory.
Strike.
You're doing like 6 things at once right now.
What's that?
You're doing like 6 things at once right
Oh, I
now.
know. Story of my life.
So I just trying to help keep you on track.
And there's a strike.
Just trying to keep you on track.
Samuel not showing bunt.
Seriously.
And the count 0-2.
It also allows me to like keep my mind on other things. If you guys
Interesting decision to have a guy as hot as Samuel waste a strike trying to bunt.
getting into action.
But Gonzalez will take it. He finds himself ahead on the count now 0-2 as Samuel calls time. And Gonzalez steps off. That pitch is fouled off. Third base side out of play. Gonzalez comes set. It'll be an 0-2. The pitch. That's laced to second. Mutz fields. Takes it himself one. Throws to first. Not in time. Looks like maybe he took that ball in the gut a little bit and had a little bit of trouble transferring it to his hand, so couldn't take the flip. Decided to run it himself for the force, but it cost him the double play. And that will be it for Gonzo. And we'll be back after this. Minnie makes the call to the bullpen.
Why are you zooming? This is wide. Wide, wide, wide.
So, Owen Webb comes on in relief of Zach Gonzalez. Gonzalez does his job. He goes 2 2/3, allows 2 hits, strikes out 1. Runner goes. Throw down to second is going to be not in time.
No, he's not out. Not out. I love this shit.
There's 2 outs, aren't there?
No, there's 1. He was the leadoff runner. No, he's not.
Webb, in 11 innings of work thus far, has allowed 7 runs for a 5.73 ERA. He's struck out 9, walked 5. So you like the strikeout numbers, but you wish he was a little more controlled. And the Diplomats have their go-ahead run in scoring position with 1 out and a 1-1 count to Bluegus. Webb comes set, the pitch. There's a strike. And the count 1-2.
This kid gotta stop throwing. He's gotta stop throwing his hat because that has to be super like distracting.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So why did they take Gonzo out?
Probably a matchup thing. So he's a lefty, and it's better for a righty to throw against a righty hitter. Is the way the ball comes in.
There's that curveball misses. I don't quite know where that curveball missed.
There can't possibly be a person in here who doesn't think that was a strike.
Huh?
And so the count runs full at 3-2.
In this vicinity that doesn't think that was a strike. You do that real quick?
And there the fastball misses, high ball 4. So Bluegus walks. And the Diplomats have a couple of men aboard. for their center fielder, Kevin Lammers. Lammers 0 for 2 on the day.
Come on, Owen.
That's the type of call that can swing a game.
On the year, a 292 hitter. As that pitch misses down. Couple of doubles and 7 RBIs, a 387 on base percentage. Has an opportunity now to give the Diplomats a lead. Samuel leads off second. Blugas off first. Webb's curveball catches the outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. The 1-1 on its way from Webb. The pitch. Breaking ball misses down. Count 2-1. Here's the 2-1 on its way. That's grounded right at the shortstop. He's going to flip to second for 1. Throw on to first. It's going to be wide, and it's going to go in the stands, and that's going to let a run score. Lammers moves to second on the wild throw. So it looked like Webb had gotten the double play ball he needed to get out of the inning. Instead, Seppi throws it away. And allows the go-ahead run to score. So the prior walk now looms large, as that out at second would have ended the inning. And Kaveen steps to the plate with a runner on second and 2 out. Here's an 0-2. Ball's in the dirt, count 1 and 2. Webb comes set, it'll be a 1-2, the pitch. That's chopped to short. Mutz fields, fires to first. Beaker picks it out of the dirt, and that will do it. But the Diplomats get a run on a hit and a big, big error. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Franklin and Marshall lead 6-5. So we head now to the bottom of the 8th. It will be Mutz, Jacobson, and Gillen 8, 9, and 1 for the Garnet, as they are running out of time to take a lead. They trail now, the Diplomats, by 1 run. And Roche has been effective thus far. He has allowed 1. But not earned. And Mutz now ahead on the count 2-0. There's a strike. And count 2-1.
Yeah, Warren was telling me that like he said it's like really hard to pitch to someone who's showing bunt. He said it's just
Yeah, it's distracting.
That pitch is up and in. Count 3-1.
Come on, Mutz. They always score.
3-1 on its way from Roche. The pitch. It's fouled off. Count runs full at 3-2.
Come on, Mutz.
3-2 is laced. Foul. Count holds at 3-2. Mutz 1 for 3 on the day. Would obviously love to get on here. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Garnet trails 6-5.
Gotta be some sort of rally cry.
Roche winds and deals. And that's grounded to second. Fielded by Kaveen. Throws across the diamond in time.
Now batting number 9.
And there's 1 away.
I don't understand why it's typing when I'm clicking wide in.
For the Garnet, number 15, Austin Burgess.
Who is he in for?
And so now with 1 out in the 8th, Mitty's going to call on his bench and go to the freshman Austin Burgess, an outfielder from Hughesville, Maryland. Takes a fastball inside. And the count is 1-0. Burgess, in 14 at-bats, has 5 hits, a .357 hitter. He's got 1 home run and 6 RBIs. Swings through that one, and the count is 1-1.
That's the OAB. I could use that homer that he had to left.
Swings through another fastball, count 1-2.
He's gonna throw him something wide again because he's great at everything.
And the 1-2 on its way from Roche. Breaking ball misses outside. And the count runs even at 2-2.
They gotta fix this so you can.
And swings around at a fastball low and in, kicking himself there. And there are 2 away for the center fielder, Jared Gillen. Gillen 0 for 3 on the day with an RBI. And he's also struck out. Bats here trying to make something happen with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. As Roche misses high. Count is 1-0.
That sucks.
And that ball's skied to center field. Under it is Lammers. He'll make the catch, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We head to the ninth. It's 6-5 Diplomats. So we head now to the top of the ninth. Webb's night is done. On in relief is Drew McMahon, a freshman from Orlando, Florida. Burgess pitch hit for the catcher Jacobson. And so now Kenji Yoshi, number 18, is in behind the plate. Yoshi plays with a wrap over his throwing hand.
Leading off for the Diplomats, number 23, JJ Freeman. You're going to have to guess.
Come on.
It will be Freeman, Miller, and Lonnie for the Diplomats, as Freeman takes a fastball outside, and the count is 1-0. And the fastball misses down.
Also, we missed the
And McMahon behind on the count now, 2-0.
1 and 3, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we missed it. Yay.
That ball's lined up the middle for a base hit. And Freeman has himself aboard here to start the ninth.
Now batting number 44, Alex Miller.
McMahon has appeared in 7 games, thrown 8 1/3 innings. He's allowed 6 runs for an ERA of 6.48. Opponents hitting .250 against him. And Miller shows bunt and takes a strike, and the count is 0-1. Shows bunt again. That's off his hand. McMahon fires to first in time for the out, and there is one away.
Now batting number 1, Kelsey Lonnie.
That'll bring up the left fielder, Kelsey Lowney. Lonnie 1 for 4 on the day with an RBI and a strikeout. Bats now with a man in scoring position. The breaking pitch from McMahon misses low. Count 1-0. McMahon again behind on the count, 2-0. The pitch. There's a strike. Count 2-1. Freeman leads off second. Lowney at the plate. Diplomats lead already 6-5. Trying to add an insurance run here in the top of the ninth. McMahon on in relief of Zach Gonzalez, who was in turn on in relief of Jack Corkery. Corkery was effective through 4, and then the wheels came off as the Diplomats exploded for a 5-run fifth. They have scored just once since, in the top half of the 7th. As the pitch from McMahon lands in the dirt, allowing Freeman to advance and forcing the Garnet to bring their infield in. Payoff pitch from McMahon. Caught on a miss. Strike 3. And there are 2 down. Big strikeout there from the freshman. As it brings today's starting pitcher to the plate, Don DiLoretto.
Oh, he's still hitting? I totally didn't even notice.
DiLoretto 1 for 4 on the day with a strikeout. McMahon comes set, the 1-0. Misses outside, count 2-0.
I have faith that if we can hold this guy on third. No wild pitches.
That breaking ball misses low.
Kenji's really good. He's a good backstop, so like that would be another reason that was kind of smart catcher for Sam. Not that Sam's bad, but
They walked.
And now with the count 3-0 on DiLoretto, they'll just give him the intentional pass.
Now batting number 18, Kyle Ebert.
And that will bring up Kyle Ebert. Ebert 1 for 4 on the day as well, also with a strikeout. Will Samuel waits on deck. He's the batter that the Garnet really would rather not face. He was 3 for 4 on the day with an RBI. So McMahon really would like to get Ebert here, to state the obvious, as he fouls the first pitch off, first base side. And the count is 0-1.
there's a lot of reasons that he did that. But the chances that last guy
Yo, one on its way. Is in the dirt. Huge block by Kenji Yoshi, keeping Freeman at third. Count even at 1-1. Runners on the corners for the Diplomats. The pitch. Breaking ball misses high. Count 2-1.
Yeah. I like how this is like the only time that like the parents are like agreeing.
Yeah.
Like they're talking
But
their
he's been consistent though. I mean, he's in the ball. I don't know how. But
And the 2-1 on its way. The pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. Count 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Freeman off third. DiLoretto off first. Ebert at the plate. Drew McMahon trying to keep the score where it is for the Garnet. And time is called. McMahon holds the stretch, the 2-2. Foul back, and the count holds at 2-2.
There's a net and a window between us. So,
McMahon comes set, it'll be a 2-2. Breaking ball misses outside, count runs full at 3-2. That will release DiLoretto from first. He is of secondary importance anyway to the Garnet right now, who are trying to keep the score right where it is and give themselves a chance. As that ball is skied deep to left field, but foul.
Holy schnoshes days.
And the count holds at 3-2.
That's at like second base of the softball.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Runner goes. The pitch is skied. Foul. Back behind the Diplomats dugout and out of play.
This will be the ninth pitch of the at-bat.
And count will hold at 3-2. DiLoretto getting his running in. 2 on, 2 out. Full count. Drew McMahon trying to keep the Diplomats right where they are. Ninth pitch of the at-bat upcoming. McMahon comes set. The pitch is grounded to third, past the diving Elliott, and into left field. 1 run scores. Around to third comes DiLoretto. They're going to hold him right there. It's an RBI double for Kyle Ebert, and the Diplomats take a 7-5 lead. So Ebert wins the battle, and now Yoshi will go out and talk to his freshman pitcher.
That's a hit. Wait, you gave us the wrong team. You can be plus and minus too.
Yeah.
Who do we even have to pitch? Who do we even have to pitch next game? Sawyer? Maybe Shower?
Yeah, we have to bullpen here. Droppy.
Drop?
As McMahon catches the outside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1.
Okay, they do away or here? Away. Away. I wasn't sure if that's when they were moving it to.
It'll be an 0-1. That misses down. Count 1-1. And the 1-1 misses outside. Count 2-1. And McMahon comes set. The 2-1 is lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit. 2 runs will score. Samuel with his 4th hit of the afternoon. And the Diplomats now lead 9-5. So with 2 out here in the top of the 9th, the Diplomats have again capitalized. They now lead 9-5. And Daniel Blugas steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a couple of walks on the day. Takes a strike on the inside corner. Count 0-1. That ball's grounded foul. Third base side out of play. Count 0-2. And the 0-2 on its way. The pitch is high. Count 1-2. Runner goes. Ball gets away from Yoshi, but no further advance. Count runs to 2 and 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 3 runs already in for the Diplomats. Blugas at the plate, trying to make it 4. The 2-2 from McMahon. Gets away from Yoshi again. Which will allow Ebert, or rather Samuel, to move to third. So another 3-2 upcoming from McMahon. Runner on third, 2 out. The payoff pitch is grounded to short, fielded by Mutz. He fires across the diamond in time, and that will do it. But the Diplomats break away. They score 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 1 man left on base. Do the Garnet have a rally in their bones? They're coming up down 9-5. We'll be right back. So the Diplomats make a pitching change. They call on their first baseman, Danny Blugas, to get the final 3 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Blugas will go to work against the heart of the Garnet order. It will be Levitt, Beaker, and Roberts, trying to close a 4-run deficit. The Garnet trail 9-5. Levitt steps up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 on the day with an RBI and a walk. He has but one job right now for the Garnet, and that is to reach first base. He checks his swing. 1-0, and yes, he did go around, says first base umpire. And now Mitty comes out, and he is angry. So Mitty, hot about the strike call. Levitt swings through a fastball and did indeed mean to swing at that one. And the count runs now 0-2. Here's the 0-2 on its way. The pitch. Cut on a miss, strike 3. And there is one down. And there's a strike on the outside corner. And the count 0-1. That pitch is high. As the 1-1 misses up and in. Count 2-1. And that's fouled off. Count runs even at 2-2. Beaker trying to get on. Start a late rally here for the Garnet. Blugas trying to get the final 3 outs. As he K's Beaker, who's retired, swinging through a fastball. So that'll bring up Jackson Roberts. So that's fouled off. And the count 0-1. It'll be an 0-1. That misses inside. Count 1-1. And that's popped up behind the plate. And that'll land in the seats. It'll be a 1-2 on its way. The pitch. Cut on a miss, strike 3. And Franklin and Marshall will take the first game of this doubleheader. You're listening to the Garnet Sports Network. The final score, 9-11-2 for the Diplomats against 5-8-3 for the Garnet. Please tune back into the Garnet Sports Network at 4:15 when we start Game 2 of this doubleheader as the Garnet try to exact revenge. I'm Moses Rubin, and thank you for listening.